Hello everyone. Um, in the previous classes, we have discussed about the sedimentation process, then the different zones of a sedimentation tank. Okay. So now in this class, we learn about the different types of sedimentation tank, their process flow characteristics, and the different types of inlet and outlet arrangements which is being done in the different types of sedimentation tanks. Okay, that is the sedimentation tanks, the inlet and outlet arrangements, and different types of sedimentation tanks used in the treatment of water. Okay, the sedimentation tanks are used both in the treatment of water as well as in the treatment of wastewater. Now since we are dealing with the water supply treatment engineering, so we will concentrate more on the sedimentation tank in the treatment of water. Okay, then let us see the different types of inlet and outlet arrangements. Okay, so as you can see, the important goal to do proper sedimentation is to reduce the velocity of the flow when the water enters the inlet zone. That is the important criteria for the inlet zone in a sedimentation tank. Okay, so as you can see, these are different types of the inlet arrangements in the sedimentation tank. Okay, so it could be a rectangular one or a circular one. Okay, so this is the first one. It is called as a perforated baffle type. So as soon as the water enters from the inlet pipe here, then water enters this somewhat called as kind of a stilling chamber here. Then the water will enter slowly from this multiple openings. Okay, and this baffle wall is provided to reduce the velocity of the flow, and this is the tank bottom. Then water enters slowly from this multiple openings. Okay, so next is the submerged orifice type, so wherein the water will enter from into this chamber, and it could have a single opening or a multiple opening. Then again one more baffle wall is provided for the prevention of the shock loads. Then the water slowly enters into this inlet zone and it is taken to the next zone in a sedimentation tank, that is the settling zone. Okay, similarly from the bottom there could have multiple influent channels with the bottom opening. So this is one such kind wherein you can have the multiple openings through which the water is let in inside the sedimentation tank. Okay, so similarly another term which we call it as overflow weir type with a baffle wall. Okay, so it is also again a construction of a weir in the inlet chamber, and so that the velocity gets reduced here by hitting the water to this baffle wall, and slowly the water will flow to the subsequent zone of the treatment with the help of this baffle wall. Okay, so these are different types of inlet arrangements in a sedimentation tank. Okay, so now let us see the outlet arrangements. Okay, so similar to the inlet arrangements, we can also have the outlet arrangements for the taking up of the clarified water in a sedimentation tank. So please note that in sedimentation process we use the term oftenly called as clarified water or clarifier or sedimentation. Okay, so basically here clarifier means or clarification means separation in a common sense. Separation means separation of the solids from the liquid with respect to the sedimentation tank. Okay, so that is why it is also called as a clarification process sometimes, and the water which is treated using the sedimentation tank is called as a clarified water. Okay, and sedimentation tank is also called as clarifier. Okay, so as you can see here, similar to the inlet, you have a outlet effluent lander system, okay, provided here in the outlet zone, okay, and the water is taken through the outlet conduit to the next treatment unit. Okay, so this is the length of the outlet effluent launder, and this is the width section of the outlet launder. Okay, and this is one kind of other outlet arrangement with the construction of a small weir here. Okay, so that so water will slowly go out of the system in a sedimentation tank. Okay, and there could be also outlet with multiple openings. Okay, again these kinds of arrangement are done in order to prevent the turbulent mixing of the water, because if the water enters into the system, then it may create some turbulence, so it may again mix up the settled solid. So in order to avoid that, we will provide this kind of arrangements. Okay, then coming to different types of settling tanks. Basically, the sedimentation tanks are classified based on three different aspects. One is based on methods of operation, based on shape of the tank, and based on its location. See, based on modes of operation, it can be classified as fill and draw type sedimentation tank and the continuous flow sedimentation tank. Based on shape, it is classified into circular tank, rectangular tank, and hopper bottom tank. And based on the location, it is classified as primary tank and secondary tank, or primary sedimentation tank and also secondary sedimentation tank. Okay, see, fill and draw type are the ones wherein the detention time of these types of tank will be usually 24 hours or 48 hours depending upon the cycle of operation. Water is allowed to stand in quiescent conditions or steady state conditions in a sedimentation tank for up to 24 hours, and water is again let out by unplugging the outlet. Okay, so that is called as fill and draw type of tanks. In continuous flow type of tank, the water will be continuously entered into the inlet zone and with a detention time of 1 to 4 hours or maybe up to 8 hours depending upon the type of sedimentation tank, whether it is a sedimentation aided with coagulation. So if it is a sedimentation tank aided with coagulation, then the detention time varies between 1 to 2 hours. So if it is without coagulation, it may go up to 4 hours or sometimes 8 hours depending upon the type of the solids. That type of tank we call it as continuous flow type of sedimentation tank. Okay, so based on the shape, it is obvious that if it is circular one, then it is called as a circular tank. So if it is a rectangular one, then we call it as rectangular or hopper bottom. Okay, so we'll see the diagrams of this so that you'll have a clear picture of the different types of sedimentation tank, the inlet and outlet arrangements in these type of tanks. Okay, so like I told you, it is the circular basins are also called as clarifiers. That is nothing but the sedimentation tanks. Clarifiers and settling tanks are oftenly used by different authors in different textbooks. Okay. So relatively these have more advantage compared to the rectangular tank because they are generally more prone to short circuiting and particle removal problems. So this is the circular sedimentation tank. Okay, it is having a launder outside. Okay, so that is launder with an weir so that to collect the clarified water and taken to the next treatment zone. Okay, so this is the influent zone. It is a center feed type wherein water enters into the system into a circular basin. Okay, so this is the peripheral inlet and central outlet kind of system of sedimentation tank. So wherein there will be a central launder from which the water enters into the sedimentation tank. Okay, and with the peripheral feed, water can also be entered into the sedimentation tank and it is taken out through the effluent channel or effluent weir. Okay, so based on the design considerations, so these types of inlet and outlet arrangements can be made. So this is a section of rectangular sedimentation tank. Okay, so wherein you can see all the zones in this tank. Okay, so this will be an inlet zone with a baffle arrangement, and this is the inlet channel from which the water will enter into the system, and this is the inlet zone. Okay, and from this the water will enter into the system, and this is the depth of the water, that is called as the settling zone. Okay, and this is the outlet arrangement, maybe with a weir, adjustable effluent weir. Okay, and water will settle, water will be clarified into this circular rectangular sedimentation tank, and to remove the settled sludge we have this sludge pump. Okay, then this can be used to suck the sludge which is settled at the bottom in this hopper kind of mechanism, so that the settled sludge can be pumped using this sludge pump. Okay, and it consists of a drive unit above the level of the water, which is attached to the scraper mechanism. Okay, so this scraper, as you can see here, the thick line at the bottom. Okay, so and usually there will be a slope of 1%, okay, which is given at the bottom of the sedimentation tanks, either rectangular or sedimentation, based on the design. And this slope is provided for obvious reason that the sludge should collect in the settling area or settling zone easily. Okay, and this scraper will scrape the all settled sludge and brings into this chamber so that it can be pumped out easily. Okay, so this is the section of rectangular sedimentation tank. Okay, and this is one more diagram which shows the scraper mechanism and the sludge scraper mechanism, which will allow the sludge to collect in this area, and this is the inlet zone, and this is the trough for removing the floating debris from the sedimentation tank, and this is the outlet. And this you can see, this is the scraper mechanism which keeps on rotating at low RPMs at the bottom of the tank and scrapes the sludge. And this is the circular sedimentation tank. As you can see here, there is a central feed, and this is called as influent area, wherein water will enter into the system through this influent well, and slowly the water will be allowed into this settling zone. And this is a steady state quiescent type of area wherein the water is allowed to stand for some amount of time, that we call it as detention time, through which the solids will settle at the bottom. And this is what I was talking about, the scraper. Okay, so as you can see, this scraper is connected to a drive motor at the top, and this will be constantly rotating at low RPMs, and it will, the bottom, as you can see, is having some slope, so that the settled sludge is brought into this sludge settlement zone. From this the sludge can be discharged, and this is called a sludge discharge pipe. Okay, so it can be discharged from the bottom. Okay, and that sludge can be sun dried, or it can also be processed by the different processes of sludge treatment. Okay, and this is the effluent area wherein the sludge is taken out, and this is the circular sedimentation tank with central feed and radial flow type of system. Okay, so this represents the flow area and different zones of a sedimentation tank. Okay, so the blue line represents the inlet and outlet of the water here. Okay, and the red line represents the different zones of a sedimentation tank, that is inlet zone, settling zone, outlet zone, and sludge zone at the bottom. Okay, in a circular sedimentation tank. See, this is the scraper mechanism which I was talking about in the rectangular sedimentation tank in the above figure, as well as in the circular sedimentation tank. So these are the arms which are provided here in this zigzag manner okay, so which will scrape the floor of the sedimentation tank with a motor which is attached at the top, okay, and this will be constantly rotating in this circular motion, okay, and it will bring down the sludge at the bottom, okay, and this is the central influent channel in a sedimentation tank, okay. Similarly, you can see this in the rectangular sedimentation tank. Okay, here also you can see the scrapers, okay, which are arranged on the bottom slope of the circular sedimentation tank. This is the inlet well which is centrally located, and this is the effluent channel, okay, and this is the rectangular primary clarifier, okay. As you can see, this is the arrangement which is made to collect the sludge, okay, and this is sometimes that is secondary clarifier. Like I told you, based on the location it can be classified as primary and secondary sedimentation tank. So these are typically used in the treatment of wastewater to settle the biological sludge, okay. So this you will study in your next semester in the treatment of wastewater. But remember, if it is located during or before the sedimentation process, then it is called as primary sedimentation tanks, and if it is located after the biological processes in the treatment of wastewater, then it is called as a secondary clarifier, okay. It is also one of the type of the sedimentation tank, okay. So this is the 3D view of the circular sedimentation tank, and this is the gangway wherein a person can walk over this, and this is the dry motor which I was talking about, and this green color what you are seeing is an inlet chamber or inlet area through which the water will flow into the settlement zone, and at the bottom I can see the scraper which is provided, okay. So this is the section of a circular sedimentation tank, okay, and this is a vertical type of sedimentation tank, or it is also a hooper bottom type. So this type of bottom if you provide, then we call it as hooper bottom type, okay. Here the water will enter vertically through this pipe, and it will have a circular path like this, okay, so that the velocity will be reduced as you move down, okay, thereby allowing the sludge or sedimentation to happen in this small area, okay. So this hooper bottom is provided again in order to reduce the velocity of the flow so that the particles can easily settle, okay. And this is the outlet area, and this sludge pipe can be used to pump the sludge out from the bottom of the sedimentation tank, okay. So this is another kind of hooper bottom type. Like in the previous slide we saw what is meant by hooper bottom, okay. So in that the flow was vertical, here the flow is happening from the central channel, okay, and this is the inlet pipe, this is the sludge pipe, and this is the shape, it is called as hooper bottom type, and this is the launder, nothing but the effluent channel from which the clarified water is taken out after the treatment, okay. Then comes the concept of tube settlers and plate settlers, okay. So these plate settlers and the tube settlers got popularity in recent times because it will reduce further the velocity in the inlet zones, okay, and because of the provision of the multiple tubular channels which are placed at an angle of 60 degree adjacent to each other, which will increase the settling area, okay, and this provides for a particle settling depth that is significantly less than the settling depth of a conventional clarifier, okay, thereby it reduces the settling time, okay. So this is the typical section of a tube settler in a water treatment plant. So here, as you can see, in the inlet chamber the tube settlers are provided at an angle of 60 degree centigrade with respect to horizontal, okay. So these are provided in order to further reduce the velocity of the influent water, which will increase the settlement efficiency in short period of time, okay. So for the same cross section area, by providing these tube settlers, we can achieve maximum efficiency. Okay, this is called as tube settler, and similar to the 4 different zones, here also you can see the inlet zone, the settling zone, the sludge zone, and also the outlet zone. Okay, so these are nothing but the advanced type of sedimentation tank. And what are the advantages of tube settlers? Okay, so it can operate at 2 to 4 times the normal rate of clarifiers or basins without the tube settlers. Okay, so it is possible to cut coagulant dosage by up to half while maintaining a lower influent turbidity to the treatment plant filters. Okay, and it requires less filter backwashing, it to significant operating cost savings for both water and electricity. And the new installation using tube setters can be designed smaller because of increased flow capacity. That is, this requires the less area compared to the conventional clarifiers. Then flow of existing water treatment plants can be increased through the addition of tube settlers. That means if you want to upgrade any water treatment plant which is already equipped with clarifier, then we can install the tube settlers so that the treatment plant capacity can be increased, and also it will have more efficiency compared to the conventional clarifier because of the reduction in velocity and the tubes which are placed. Okay, so this is another type of the clarifier. It is called as plate settler, or commonly it is called as lamella clarifier. Okay, so lamella clarifier is an inclined plate settler. It is a type of settler designed to remove particles from liquids in the treatment of water. Okay, so they are often employed in primary water treatment in place of conventional settling tanks. Okay, like I told you, so this is the advanced type of sedimentation tank which are fitted with the plates or tubes. If it is fitted with plates, then it is called as plate settler or lamella clarifier. If it is fitted with tubes, then it is called as tube settlers. Okay. So these inclined plates provide a large effective settling area for a smaller footprint. Okay, and solid particles begin to settle on the plates and begin to accumulate in the collection hoppers at the bottom of the clarifier unit, and sludge is drawn. Okay, so this is what the typical lamella clarifier look like. Okay, this is also called as plate clarifiers. As you can see, the plates which are arranged here, okay, at an angle of 30 to 60 degree against the flow of the water, and this is the stilling chamber wherein the water is allowed to stand for in quiescent conditions, and this is the sludge zone, okay, where the sludge is settled, and sludge can be thickened or treated or processed further depending upon the available sludge treatment technology. And this is the effluent channel which can be taken out. For this is for the same cross section of a sedimentation tank, we can install the additionally the plates here, that is called as lamella clarifier or plate settler. Okay, so this is again some of the advantages of lamella clarifier are, that is, due to the addition of these plates, it will increase the effective settling area, which will improve the operating conditions of the clarifier in many number of ways. That means the unit can be more compact. Okay, that means it will require 65, it will reduce the 65 to 80% of the normal conventional clarifiers. Okay, and it can also operate with more overflow rates, that is 2 to 4 times more than the traditional clarifier, and also it improves the effluent quality. It requires a simple design without requiring the much use of chemicals. Okay, so this is the mechanism of the plate settlers. Okay, so this is the settling rate, which is an inclined plate. As you can imagine, when the particle hits the plate, then you can imagine the number of plates which are present here in the lamella clarifier system. Okay, so because of this area restrictions here in the inflow channel, the solids will hit the surface of these plates and it will try to settle faster. Instead of moving fast, Imagine the water flow without the use of this flow, without the presence of these plates. Okay, then with the presence of these plates, what happens? The solid particles will have a very narrower path here, and it will hit the plates and it will be settled comparatively at a faster rate. Okay, so this is what the mechanism of plate settlers. Okay, so that's all for today's class. In the next class we will talk about the clarifier, its basics, and the coagulation process and different types of coagulants.